Hello and welcome to another edition of Another Book Review. This week I'll be reviewing the debut novel of Emily Nemens, The Cactus League. I'll talk briefly about the author, go into a spoiler-free plot of the book, talk about what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, who I'd recommend the book to, and finish off with what I'll be reading for next time. Emily Nemens is best known for being the editor of the Paris Review. She's also written for Esquire magazine. I think portions of the novel appeared in other publications before being published in full. As best as I can tell, this is her first novel. So what is the Cactus League? It is about a fictional baseball player on a fictional baseball team, the Los Angeles Lions. Their all-star, a kind of once-in-a-generation player whose name is Jason Goodyear, has recently been divorced. In the off-season, he's coming into spring training in Arizona, where the book takes place. It's set in the year 2011, and the book is basically a series of short stories, each centered on a different character, that in total kind of explain the story of Jason Goodyear, kind of what led up to his divorce and what he's been going through and kind of how it's impacted his play on the field during spring training. There is a narrator character who fills in, kind of makes implicit information explicit and kind of tees up the next chapter, as it were. So the things that I liked about the book were that the writing style is very, I mean this with all compliments, breezy. It's very easy to read, easy to follow. It wasn't purple prose. This book ultimately is going to rise and fall. Your estimation on it is going to be on the characters within each of the chapters. I felt most of them were actually really interesting characters. She does a good job of taking different people from this universe, this world, this small world of kind of spring training baseball. So you have a batting coach who his house has been vandalized and how that impacts him. You have the last chapter, is Jason Goodyear himself and kind of him explaining his story, or his story being explained. You have the story that's being told through the eyes of a small boy. And I think the author does a good job of, especially in the chapter with the boy, changing up her style enough while reflecting the truth of that character. The best chapter for me, I think, was the wives of the baseball players. And that world, I thought, was really interesting in her, what she does with that stuff. I think overall the theme of the book really follows a theme of one of transformation in the way that baseball is a summer game. The season between winter and summer is spring. So you have all these characters who are going through some kind of transformation, either trying to make the team or not making the team, as it were. And so all the chapters, most of them kind of lead or end with some kind of epiphany of the characters. I think the ending itself is really strong. I've gotten lucky in that both this and the Marauders had strong endings. This ending I thought was pretty perfect. Kind of leaves it off in a good place. I think if there were some things that I didn't like as much, they're pretty minor. I think there are some plot holes. There are some details that seemed to change from chapter to chapter. I think that I have a thing with names, so if there are similar characters with similar sounding names, that kind of bothers me. So in this book, there are a lot of minor characters on the peripheral, and some of them have similar sounding names, so you're kind of going back and forth to see, have I met this character before, have I not met them? So having similar names was kind of difficult in some places. As I said before, the book kind of rises and falls with the strength of the characters. Some of the chapters did not hit as strongly as others. I will say I think the book got stronger as it did go along, but there were definitely some chapters that didn't work. A couple of the chapters, the characters were very similar, so I think there were a couple of them that were players on the team, and their stories were similar enough to where I don't know if I needed both of them. Also say I don't know if I needed the narrator character. I think he does a good job of kind of leading you from chapter to chapter, but there are some parts of it that I thought were just like long exposition that wasn't really necessary. So I don't know if that possibly could have been cut. Overall, I found the novel really charming. I think I would recommend this to... I've reviewed two other similar books on this channel, three other similar books on this channel, but the two that reminded me the most of this book were A Visit from the Goon Squad and Mr. Monkey by, I think, Charlene or Christine Prose. I may have mispronounced the name, so I apologize. But I'll leave links to both of those reviews before. I would say I like this a little bit more than I liked A Visit from the Goon Squad, and a little bit less than Mr. Monkey. If you're a fan of baseball, if you're a fan of that kind of structure of having kind of these interlocking stories, or having characters kind of weave in and out of stories, I think you will enjoy this, because I think there is some strong writing in there, and I think there are some interesting characters. So that is The Cactus League by Emily Nemens. Next time I'm going to be reading Bottle Grove by Daniel Handler. Until next time, if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Till next time, bye.